Hello, once again, Talkin Fight fans. It's time for Neil the Deal. And Neil the Deal has in the house with him Ray Mercer. Well, not really in the house, but on his mind. How's that?
Hey, Graham, how are you tonight, my friend? It's Friday, guys.
Exactly.
Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
baby. Super Bowl weekend. Get your popcorn, peanuts, cracker jacks, wings, pizza, chili, whatever turns your crank because the bowl is on. We all know who's playing. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing. My
Who?
team right here, right? And the other team, hosted by some guy named Brady. So he's had enough. He's won enough. He needs to go away. That's what he needs to do. And put all your money, guys, on these guys. All right. Don't be afraid. Neil the Deal's giving you a tip. It's going to be a blowout. There you go. That's a tip for the weekend, guys. So stay safe out there. Thanks again for all the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, the comments, man. Oh, Graham, this week was phenomenal, eh?
Yep, we had a great week.
We literally had a great week. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to the Neil the Deal fans, the Talk and Fight fans, everybody out there, all our sporting fans. So let's get into this episode for a good Friday night. We're gonna do a guy who I watched pretty extensively during his career because I really liked him. I just liked the way he fought. I thought that he probably could have been a world champion even back in the day. I know Angelo Dundee, the famous trainer of Muhammad Ali, said that if there's anybody in the heavyweight division that's going to win the title and keep it for a while, Dundee thought that this was the gentleman. His name was Ray Mercer. We're going to talk about a guy named Ray Mercer. Now he went with the moniker Merciless Ray Mercer. I like that. I thought that was awesome. I was like, all right, this guy's got no mercy, and he's big, and he's tough, and he looked mean. Every time he entered the ring, that guy looked like he was eating steel for breakfast. It was like, what the heck is in this guy's cornflakes? He's literally he looked pissed off all the time, which is kind of cool, right? So Merciless Ray Mercer. We'll talk about him today, guys. Again, thanks again for everything, and keep them coming, keep them flying, keep them going. That's all I can ask, and I want to thank you for coming out and watching the show tonight. So he was born April 4th, 1961. That makes him 59 years old right now, Graham. His
Correct.
career spanned it. It was a pretty big career. He started in '89 as a pro, and he went to 2005 or 2006 when he decided boxing wasn't working out for him in the end. He was 44 years old when he retired. So he started to get into kickboxing and MMA,
Wow.
which I never knew. So he was in something called cage fighting or something, and like those smaller MMA sort of pride, I guess, or whatever they call that, and some kickboxing stuff. But he really only had two or three bouts. He won all the bouts um, that he was in. I believe he did pretty good. He did get beaten up in the end by he was supposed to fight Tim Sylvia. He ended up beating Tim Sylvia in an MMA fight, but he lost to somebody. It'll come to me. And the guy actually just beat him up, right? It was like pretty bad. So anyways, he didn't really last that long in the MMA career and the kickboxing, but he did it for a few years, I guess, at the end. So the things that he did do, though, that are like really amazing, guys, check this out. So he was the winner of the gold medal at the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea, in the heavyweight division. So he was the gold medal winner. So, guys, anybody who's a gold medal winner, you gotta like. And I remember watching the fight, and he knocked out all his opponents. Remember we talked about how Michael Spinks only had two fights, Graham, to win the
Yep.
title or to
Yep.
win the gold.
Yep.
Mercer had to fight five. I think it was four at least, five guys to win that gold medal. So there you go. It's a completely different thing there. So he won that in the heavyweight division. He was a heavyweight and a super heavyweight. Those were the two divisions that he was in. I don't even know if they have super heavyweight anymore. Do they, Graham? Or it's just categorized as heavyweight?
Yeah, I think they're super heavyweights.
Yeah, super heavyweight still, eh?
Yeah,
Anybody? I think it's over 240 or something, or 50 is super heavyweight or something, right?
I thought Ray was a super heavyweight.
Yeah, that's a question for Ray. Ray, if you can answer that question for us, much appreciated, buddy. All right, so he did really well during his career. He won the gold, right? He also won the WBO heavyweight championship, and he was the title holder in '92. He was a son of a retired Army guy, a retired Army man. His dad was in the Army. He was a mechanic in the Army, and Ray always wanted to be in the Army. That was his goal, so to speak, when he was younger. So he enlisted in the Army. When he was really young, he loved to fish and hunt. He loved the outdoors. His dad was really cool. I love that stuff. Fishing and hunting's right down my alley. I love it. And then he decided to go into his amateur career, and his dad was helping him out. So he started at 23 while he was in the Army. Was when he started, Graham, and he won all the military titles, U.S. amateur boxing titles. In '85, he became the U.S. Army and inter-service heavyweight champion of the military. So he basically was the biggest, baddest dude in the military, the Army at that time. Basically, he's a heavyweight champion of all divisions, right? And so must have been a hell of a fighter, as far as if he had to go to war. You'd love to have him on your team, put it that way. Absolutely want to have him on your team. So he also competed as a youngster in European tournaments because his father, being a military guy, was stationed in Germany. So he grew up in Georgia and Germany, basically at these military bases that his father was at. So he always wanted to become the best in the military at boxing. He wanted to become the Army boxing trial champion. There's a camp or something, some U.S. military camp. He wanted to become part of that. So he got into that. And in 1988, he was actually named, which is kind of farther into his career, obviously, but he was named the Armed Forces Athlete of the Year. So that's a pretty big accolade to be the biggest in the armed forces, like best athlete. So that's pretty amazing stuff. The guy, like I said, I watched a lot of his fights, and I'll tell you, you're going to want to watch some of these fights. Graham, if you haven't watched any of Ray Mercer's fights, he was a monster. He was a very scary individual, and he was a lethal puncher. Now, anybody who knows anything about Ray Mercer will tell you, or any of his opponents will tell you, probably the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division of that era of the time. He basically, when he was in the Olympics, I heard a rumor where his partner was Riddick Bowe, all right, in the Olympic trials in the heavyweight or super heavyweight division. I think it was super heavyweight, and Bowe wouldn't even fight him, spar with him, because Mercer's punches were just too hard. So Bowe wanted nothing to do with him, right? And Bowe was a big guy, like 6'5", 255 or something crazy. But this guy, they put 16-ounce gloves on him, and he wouldn't even, like, the problem was he would just knock you out, even with those big gloves on, you know what I mean? He had so much punching power. So he was really good that way. That's why I really liked him. I thought, every time I watch him, he's gonna end this in a flurry, a barrage of massive, hard punches, every time. So, and he did pretty well. So in his pro career, he turned pro, and he had 44 fights, Graham. He had 36 wins, 26 by knockout, 7 losses, and 1 draw. So he did pretty well, if you know what I mean. There's nothing to be ashamed of that, right? 36 wins out of 44 fights with 7 losses. So he beat some notable guys too. He beat Smoking Burt Cooper. We talked about him, Graham. He's the guy that Willie DeWitt had the issue with. So he beat him in 1990 to win Cooper's NABF heavyweight championship crown. So he took that, the NABF. In January 91, he won the WBO heavyweight title. And then he vacated that title to fight Larry Holmes instead of fighting the mandatory challenger again. Here we go, Michael Moore at the time. So he decided it was in his best interest to go for the WBC, WBA titles from Holmes instead of defending the WBO. He just vacated. So he had a hell of notable fights. We're going to get into that. He had the thing about Ray was he had all these amazing fights, Graham, like really good. But when he got to the big show, the actual title fights, he didn't fare so well. Like overall, he fought hard, but he was just that much. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. And he was just a little bit off. You know what I mean? The big ones, and those were the ones that I'm going to tell you about to watch, because he really did have a good fight every time he was in the ring. It was a really good battle every time. So he lost to Holyfield in '95, and then he lost to Lewis in '96. The big boys. He went up through the ranks and he got up there, and then he lost to those guys, and then he fought some sort of journeyman dude, and he got a neck injury, and he hurt himself. I remember this, and he was out of commission for something like 14 months, and then he got hepatitis or something, and he was off for another 20 months. And so it just kind of went on and on. Where is he coming back? Is he coming back? Finally, he returned in 2001, and I don't know what he was thinking here to come back. He fights the heavyweight champion of the world, the lineal champion, Vladimir Klitschko, in his first fight back. Like, really, dude? You couldn't pick somebody else? You had to pick the hardest guy in the world. That is insane. So I don't know. Maybe he was getting paid a lot of money. That's just basically what I figure. But anyways, he fights Klitschko, and we all know what happens with him when a Klitschko's in there. He knocked him out in the first round, and then he got up. I remember this. And then he kind of just got beaten up for 5 more rounds. And in the 6th, he got knocked out. That was it. Klitschko took him down. So his last fight was August 26, 2005. And he lost to a guy named Shannon Briggs, who's a U.S. heavyweight. Lots of dreadlocks, kind of like a flamboyant kind of dude. But he got his just desserts in the end, too. So, you want to play the flashy guy? Eventually, you're going to pay the piper, So that's basically what happened there. So after he retired, he had a really quiet life. Graham, he lives in North Carolina. I understand he doesn't kind of hangs with the community. He does some community service, humanitarian stuff, but he really is under the radar. He doesn't, he's not out doing commercials or wanting to be in the movie industry or anything like that. Him and his wife just want to relax and hang out and enjoy his retirement, I guess, right? So we're going to go over some notable fights that he had. Guys, these are the ones I think you should watch. Mercer fights. They're amazing. Punching power, unbelievable. Skill in the ring. He was great skill, and mean as hell. Like, he looked mean as heck. So he's always fun to watch mean fighters when they go in there. I'm a gross guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what happens, right? And it's an intimidation factor. And well, it worked for Mike Tyson over Michael Spinks, right? So that's how that works. And I'm sure Bola will tell you that too. Guys are always trying to intimidate other guys before the fight, during the fight, in the ring, before the fight starts. Like, it's just a complete then at the end, they're hugging and kissing and buying each other drinks. So it's kind of like, same thing in NFL football. If you're in a football game or a boxing match or whatever it may be, you do not go to the other team after the thing and start hugging and kissing. You are supposed to hate the other team. That is the whole point of winning. You don't go and exchange jerseys and autographs and hang out at the bar together. No. Not happening. You leave the field, and that's it. Just like they did in the old days. You know what I mean, Graham? Never mind the, let's hang out and whatever. That is for literally. So anyways, let's get back to the notable fights here. We got Mercer versus Lewis. May 10th, 1996. It was a loss. Majority decision. Lewis took that down. Mercer and Holyfield. Again, a loss. March 20th, 1995. Unanimous decision. So you know what I'm saying, Graham? He's going all the way. He's just not winning them. Again, Mercer versus Holmes. Loss. Unanimous decision. 12 rounds. February 2nd, 1992. Great fight. Holmes, Holyfield, Lewis. 3 good ones. And then, of course, that Burt Cooper fight, which was a win. We'll give him the win. Unanimous decision, again, 1990. So, guys, that's who we're talking about tonight. There was Merciless Ray Mercer. Check him out. Hell of a fighter. Never really won the big one, but I respected him a lot. Ray, thanks a lot for all the entertainment, dude, if you're watching out there, any of your buddies, all right? So what do you think, Graham? Are you a little more informed about Ray now?
I am. and just one of those names that had left my memory banks, quite frankly. But I remember now that you speak of him, because when you bring other guys' names into the equation, you start going, "Oh yeah, that era."
Yeah.
It's relatively speaking a pretty
It was like the 90s,
brief,
early
yeah,
2000s.
brief era, quite frankly,
Yeah.
in terms of Ray Mercer hitting that pinnacle, if you will. One of the upcoming fighters we'll be talking to is Chris Bird, and he's also in that era as well. I think he knocked out Klitschko.
Yes, Chris Bird was amazing. Is this
Yeah,
nobody's told me about Chris Bird? Is he coming on the show?
he's not coming on your show. He's coming
What?
on. Sorry, man. He's
What?
what? What?
You got to
He's
be
not.
kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Yes, really.
Wow. What
Sorry.
is he going on the female fist?
No,
Has
he's
he
coming.
changed? Has he gone to? Is he? What's going on there?
No, no.
Why is he not on this show?
Because he was available at 7 o'clock tonight, and he's on the panel show.
Wow. Well, there you go, guys. That's coming from the boss. Oh well, can't win them all, buddy. But
You win
guys, I want
some.
to thank you again. We're gonna have some big guests coming up. I can't wait to watch Chris tonight. I'm just playing around, Graham. You know that.
Yeah.
Guys, go watch Chris on the Friday night panel. After this, great guys, Wicked, Christian, Mikey, the rest of the guys, and Chris Bird. Wow, that's impressive. I can't wait to watch. So, thanks again, guys, for the likes. If you like, share if you like to share, all that great jazz. A couple of friends out there, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, I want to say hi to Amanda. Obviously, how you doing there? Love you all the time. All right, I want to say hi to Amber. Amber, how are you? You and your mom out there. Thanks for the nice comments and stuff. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. And I want to say hi to my buddy Andy Wilson, Graham, because Andy's watching every night, and he's a great guy. You know what I mean? One of my good buddies since we were in high school. So thanks, Andy. You're number one, buddy. All right. Thanks, Graham. Guys, have a safe weekend. Guess what? We're going to end it all with the Kansas City Chiefs. Have a good Super Bowl. Eat lots, drink lots, smoke lots, do whatever you're doing, do lots. And go, KC, go. That's who we're going for. Mahomes is not losing this. Trust me. Put all your money on Mahomes, the super boy, the super kid, the super child. And that team is not losing. Back to back. That's our team. And we're out for the night. Weekend, guys. Enjoy the bowl.
Thank you.
Thanks, Graham, for having me out. Take care. We'll see. Have a nice weekend, Graham.
Thank you. You as well. Sounds
Right on,
like you
buddy,
will.
you too. And we'll be watching Chris Bird.